What's going on, guys? It's Robert Rowland again. Finally got through traffic and went to job site. Now I'm headed back um, to my office, and today's actually a good podcast day. I guess I got this is number 3 going in today while I'm driving down the highway. Uh, it's a little bit warmer today. Sun's out. I'm in a pretty good mood. It's a beautiful day outside. Um, there's a couple things that I do want to talk about. And like the earlier 2 podcasts today, we're talking about like physical abuse, and the other one was about my feelings inside, and a few other things. But another thing that I want to address is talking directly to narcissists is our stories and our histories and how people perceive us and how we need to change how people are going to take us going forward. You know, there's a lot of YouTube videos, there's a lot of books out there saying how to deal with a narcissist, how no contact is the best, how we react in certain situations. And a lot of those things are true for a lot of narcissists that these people are saying, but I don't really believe that these people that are writing these books are narcissists themselves, or are recovering narcissists. They're people that may have been in relationships with narcissists, or doctors that presume they know how the narcissist mind works. And basically what I want to do is I want to talk to you guys about some of the things that I've read and that I've heard, and some of them were actually pretty accurate. And as a narcissist, I want you guys to try to avoid doing these things to kind of help you through the recovery. One of the things is diverting back into your old ways and devaluing the person that you were with, if it was a relationship that went south or sour, and now you're looking for a reason. The first thing is that we can't make an excuse for anything that went wrong, because we're the reason that things went wrong. The way we handled the situation, the way we lied, the way we manipulated, the way we took advantage of these situations is the exact cause that made this relationship go south. So if it's a breakup or whatever happened, we have to assume full responsibility for the outcome of what happened. So we can't place blame on the other party involved, and that means, and unfortunately in today's world, it's real easy with technology today. It's real easy to send an email, or to shoot a text message, or to post something on social media, on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, or whatever's out there that you're using. That's a hate message, or that's oh, I'm angry, and I'm hurt by you. So it's very important that when you're facing the recovery process, is that, like for me, I eliminated all social media a long time ago. But when you're in this phase of recovery, to be very cautious of how you speak about your partner. The biggest thing is to be positive about your partner. They didn't do anything to you, except break up with you. If you guys were together and they said, what, I had enough, it's over. They didn't do that to hurt you. They did that to protect themselves. So as a narcissist, we need to realize that, we caused this, and this is the outcome, and this is because we did these things. This is why this is happening. And there's no reason for us to react or retaliate in a negative manner, or say something, or blast. And another thing is, through this recovery process is, if we're out of this relationship, and we did all of these things wrong and this person isn't talking to us or whatever, it's very important for us to heal ourselves 100% before you get involved with anyone else. And that's point number 2. Do not get involved with anyone, be it physical, be it just communicating. Don't rush into another relationship just to monetarily fulfill your needs. If it was physical or intimate or whatever it was, you're not really repairing yourself if you're jumping out of one bed and hopping into another. It's very important that you just really take this time if you're really trying to go through the repair process and repair yourself. Take your time alone and actually dig deep and repair, fix the issues that you have within yourself, and within ourselves before, we can fulfill someone else's dreams, regardless of the relationship that we were previously in is over and done with. There's no need to hurry up and rush into something else. There's absolutely no need, because if it's meant to be, it's going to be. And if that person that you're interested in, is really down for you, and if you're really repairing yourself and you're being honest with yourself and this person, you're like, look, I just got out of a relationship that I screwed up, and it's my fault, and I'm not ready to be in a relationship right now. I've got to self-repair. And if that person is really a good person and a fulfilling person, they're going to wait for you, 1, to repair yourself, or 2, you're going to know right off back what the potential or what that relationship is going to hold. Now, as a narcissist, we need to realize that the biggest thing that we have, and the biggest problem that we have, and our biggest hurdle that we have is ourselves. Everything that we do and everything that's happened to us is us. We are our own worst enemy. A lot of the problems that we face, a lot of the results that we've gotten, a lot of the after effects, a lot of the results that we have are all because of us. So we need to realize that we need to take time and actually repair ourselves before we start another relationship. That's a very important thing. And number 2, I don't know what number I'm on now, but another important thing is that we need to actually just step back and pull the attention away from ourselves as a narcissist. We need to fall back and actually start repairing. We don't need any attention. We don't need to tell the world, hey, I'm in therapy, or, I'm in all this pain and trouble. I need help. I'm fixing all these things. None of that is really important to anyone except ourselves. If we're truly getting help and trying to repair ourselves, it's probably best that, we try to blend in and only pull in the key important people that we need and really need around us for the support. But we don't really need to draw any attention to ourselves through this recovery effort at all. So when it comes to the breakup aspect of it, we don't need to explain to our ex or to our partner or beg them. We don't need to beg them and ask them for forgiveness or give them any false promises and hopes, that, hey, I'm better now, I'm coming back for you, because that's not important through this process. What's important through this process is repairing ourselves, and whatever happens after we're repaired, if that relationship comes back and creates itself again, that's awesome. If not, oh well, at least you're a better person whenever this process is done. But the biggest thing is that we need to repair ourselves, and we need to take this time and focus on ourselves and stay true to ourselves and repair ourselves from within. We cannot give any false hopes. We can't make any false promises. We can't start asking our exes back and begging to them and sending them a million emails begging for mercy and pleading and saying, hey, I want you back, please, please, please. And we can't give them any false promises, via words. We just have to continue down our path of recovery, and maybe they'll see it and maybe they're not paying attention to it at all. It doesn't really matter, because this whole recovery effort isn't about them. It's about us, and as selfish as it sounds right now, we have to be selfish in this aspect of the recovery, because it's solely about us right now. We have to step out and do whatever it takes to repair ourselves internally. And if that is, if our ex is communicating with us, respond, be polite, be genuine, but don't tell them, hey, why don't you come over so, this, and this can happen, and don't fall into your old habits of whatever caused the breakup. Don't fall into those things. And the biggest thing is don't portray any false signs of anything. If your ex or the person you were involved with, ask you how you're doing, just be honest with them. If you're having a rough day, tell them, hey, it's not as good as yesterday. I'm having a pretty tough day, but tomorrow's going to be better. Or if they say something, or ask a question, just answer it. But you have to be 100% honest. But you cannot, and we cannot, as narcissists, portray and give this fake image of happiness or of sadness or these extremes that we so commonly do. It's just not right. And we have to be very careful of our recovery and stay true to ourselves. And like I said, the biggest thing for me, at least through this recovery effort, is focusing on myself and being alone and truly digging deep and fixing these issues. And for all narcissists, I think a lot of people are saying that narcissists, we need a supply, which I guess is true. As a narcissist, we need to be our own supply, be it emotionally, whatever it is that this other person was supplying you with. We need to become that supply for ourselves. And once we become that supply, once you identify whatever that person was supplying you with, you need to supply yourself with whatever that person was giving you. Be it love, you got to love yourself first before you can love anyone. You got to be able to financially take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. Before you can offer someone some emotions, you got to be emotionally stable yourself before you can share your emotions with someone else. But that's basically it right now. I'm pulling up to my office, guys. I appreciate your time. That was a quick riff of what I wanted to say. I'm sure I'll have another podcast tonight when I get home and finally off. But have a great day. Robert Rowland.